A game that suddenly became a cultural phenomenon. A game that brought back gaming since the 2000s. A game that was mired in controversy. Today we take a trip down memory lane of how Helldivers rise, fall, and rise again. Let's start with Helldivers' humble beginnings, with their first game that was a top-down style. It was relatively a small game, it had a small following, and did not garner the attention of the likes of Halo, Gears of War, Call of Duty, or Battlefield, so on and so forth. But what would happen if they reworked it into a third-person cinematic game? We get Helldivers2! It came out with a promise of fun, and it delivered. It was a game made for fun, no politics, no messages, no hidden agenda as far as I know. Their Discord moderation is a whole bag of farts that I wouldn't want to open and throw it away, as it was an entirely different subject, all things considered. There were talks about stuff that I don't want to give it attention, as the devs of this game also didn't care about, and wanted to make it fun. It started out hard, with 400,000 players diving right in, and that was just the Steam charts alone, not counting the PS5 numbers. It was so much that people couldn't even play the game as the servers were overloaded. It took them a while to expand their servers and get everything back on speed. Everything was going smoothly until a cultural shift happened. Malevelon Creek and a shit ton of memes came into the picture, and even role-playing became a norm, all thanks to the mic feature that so many other gaming companies that were keen to remove them for no reason whatsoever. This game became so loved in just a small span of time. When was this game released again? Was it February 8, 2024? The first battle of Malevelon Creek was in February 8. The second battle was in February 28. And the fans went wild. Everything was hunky-dory, but not everything was smooth sailing. The introduction of War Bonds, the Helldiver equivalent of a battle pass, came with some hiccups. Some weapons weren't praiseworthy, there were some inconsistencies, and some brought up what's the point. The subject of this controversy was the Polar Patriots War Bond, where armor didn't have any environmental buffs or any kind of benefits that caught people's attention. The weapons feel like a watered-down Liberator, and some items did not fit the theme. Seriously, a fire grenade in a snow-themed war bond? Are you serious? But this wouldn't be the only thing that put a damper on Arrowhead's plans. On May 2nd, it happened. It all started when Sony attacked. The previous requirement of linking the Steam account to a PSN account somehow returned, and forced its undemocratic requirements to the poor Steam Helldivers. It was met with a defiant fist to the face, where many people collectively refunded their copies while some could not. It seems like Arrowhead was in hot water. But all was not lost. The community made their discontent known by review bombing the Steam charts to hell to get Sony's attention. And Sony retracted their requirements and backed off. But the damage was done. The Steam charts that used to be filled with 400k was dwindling to 100k, and the lowest could be tracked to 80k, or maybe worse. How will the Helldivers get back on its feet after that? Their answer was another controversy. They decided the best way to do that was to nerf every weapon the people found fun. The railgun was the first thing to receive such nerfs, but that was due to a bug that it became so OP. But that wasn't the last of it, as certain weapons suddenly turned into water guns. The previously overpowered Eruptor got nerfed not once, but 3 times. The ammunition was cut in half, the explosive damage was lowered, and the shrapnel was removed. The recoilless rifle's reload speed was increased. Exploding crossbows, smaller explosions, increased stagger, decreased magazine capacity from 12 to 8. The Quasar cannon increased recharge time by 5 seconds. The Punisher plasma has decreased magazine capacity. Scythe reduced damage versus large volume bodies. The Breaker nerfed to be more on par with other bad guns in the game. The flamethrower nerfed to be more of a single enemy damage dealer. Fire-themed shotgun nerfed in a pre-recorded war bond. Arc thrower and penetrator nerfed to target single enemies instead. Thanks to the plethora of nerfs, it alienated those that remained to leave the game for a well-earned break. Myself included. But that wasn't the crux of this dilemma. Sony was ever a lying, deceitful sack of crap. I should have expected. They publicly pulled back their PSN linking requirements but hidden the fact that they have banned 170 plus countries from purchasing the game. It was an act of evil no one saw coming. Scrambling for a solution, they were gambling on a major update. August 6, 2024. The Escalation of Freedom was released. It was a massive update and another controversy. With the new enemy types and mission types, it came with a difficulty level surpassing the previous max difficulty Helldive with Super Helldive. It also came with new weapons and a continuation of the Galactic War story. But it wasn't enough. Weapons are still nerfed, making the already weak weapons worthless. The newly added difficulty and enemies were insane. The game felt more like a punishment playing rather than a fun game. If I want punishment, I would rather go to Elden Ring and die many times than play this broken mess. People came for the hopes of an update, but was welcomed with nerfs, bugs, and underwhelming rewards. Gamers still weren't pleased and remained indignant of the game. I was losing hope as a loyal Helldiver. Helldivers became somewhat of a dead game in all honesty at this point, and it seems like it was going to stay that way. That is, until Arrowhead finally reversed the nerfs and brought all weapons back to almost full strength. But that wasn't the only thing that brought everyone back. On November 10, 2024, the DSS was introduced. What is the DSS, you say? It is a mobile space station of mass democracy, that's what it is. It provides the Helldivers with an array of support, from free artillery to massive amounts of active Eagle strafing runs on the map, and a blockade effect that will reduce enemy resistance on campaigns. And with a new voting feature, players can decide where the Democracy Space Station will go in support of the Helldivers. But Arrowhead wasn't done yet. On December 12, 2024, they gave us a surprise of a lifetime. The very thing that the player base wanted and had been talking about since the release of the game, a third faction, the Illuminates. Another race that Helldivers fought against since the first Galactic War has finally returned. But that wasn't all. A new warbond was soon to come, with another wish fulfilled. Arrowhead gave us our very own Warthog. Fast Recon Vehicle. It was a revival. It was a silver lining Arrowhead had hoped for, as Helldivers who walked away came rushing back. I am one of them. And as soon as they did, they were all back in the game and playing. Numbers surged, but nothing as near as what we had at launch. But 120k plus divers are not bad. It was so good that some countries were removed from the ban list. I'm still waiting, Arrowhead, on updates on those bans. Please just lift them already. But Arrowhead wasn't done yet. They kept releasing Warbond after Warbond, and they hit another hiccup in the form of another fan outrage. This was when they first unveiled their first collaboration, Killzone. Another cult classic of a game came forward in the Super Credit Store. It was an amazing collab, and it costed $20! Outrage! This is a betrayal! I'm joking. I'm simply saying there are a lot of people who didn't agree with the pricing. And listen to me here and listen carefully. I am not defending the price. I'm just saying it's their very first collaboration, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. I know, we all have been burned by many games prior 2024, but maybe we can find it in our heart to give Arrowhead a chance. They have earned it. Besides, they have shown us they are willing to listen to the customers and course correct. It's a whole lot more than many other companies that I can name. Blizzard, 343. We will find out on their next collaboration if they listen to us or not. But let's move on. Arrowhead was not done yet. The Galactic War continued and everything was a-okay.
This is Coretta Kelly with an emergency broadcast. Super Earth is under attack. The Illuminates are invading. All citizens are advised to seek shelter immediately. Illuminate forces have launched assaults on each megacity, including Prosperity City itself.
May 20, 2025, The Heart of Democracy was released, and Arrowhead nailed that slam dunk with this one. It was an update of epic proportions. Super Earth became the next battlefield in the theater of war. More maps, more missions, and more enemies came with this update. But that is not all. Would you like to know more? It came with brand new allies. The introduction of the Sea Soldiers brought new amounts of role-playing possibilities, and with this game and their memes, Helldivers is back and it's here to stay. Arrowhead proved that a live-action service game is possible, but if the company is willing to take customer feedback and respect their player base. There are other things that we want, Arrowhead. Can you please give it to us? Minigun, the bomber, and many more! But Arrowhead has proven, yes, they listen, and I hope they gave us more. This is a long-lasting relationship we've never expected would happen. But I digress. Whatever happens next is still uncertain, for the future isn't written in stone. So this was the story on how Helldivers paved the way for a shift in gaming culture and created a tightly knitted community of its own. Helldivers have cemented themselves in history amongst other gaming classics, and this is how Helldivers rose, fell, and has risen again. Why hello there my fellow brothers, sisters, gamers, and anime lovers. This was a massive project that I underwent. I don't know if it will ever get some support, but if you'd like to have more or any other subjects that has my interest in it, I would like to make more documentaries about those games too. But still, I digress. If you want to incentivize me to work with those projects, you can help me by becoming a Ko-Fi supporter, buy me a coffee, or become a Patreon supporter. It's in the links on my videos. Or you can go to my main page in YouTube and check the links over there. They have links for my PayPal, for my Patreon, or my Ko-Fi. Whatever way you want to support me, it's fine. Even Super Chat and Super Thanks can also help. Or maybe like, comment, and subscribe, because that also helps the videos get more traction and get spread out all over YouTube. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this little history lesson on Helldivers. I am a massive Helldivers fan, and even I got burned at some point. But because of Arrowhead listening to us and supporting us, I'm still waiting on those updates, Arrowhead. But I digress. More of it is coming, and yes, we are still waiting on some stuff.